Well, they're in the.
I guess I'm just curious about how IBMers are engaging with clients on teams, like teams that we would join after graduating, and how they're using Watson with client engagement, and what those teams look like, and how that's working.
Typically, well, at least in my group, I'm part of a group now that's called Digital Business Group, DBG, and it's developer advocates. Okay, so what we do, the way I like to best engage with clients is through design thinking labs. And basically what this is they'll come in with a specific kind of problem. And as part of this design thinking lab, have you had design thinking labs? Do they do these here?
They're available. They're electives in second year.
They're great. If you get a really good teacher who knows what they're doing, they're excellent. And they really uncover a lot of information about the organization. So you first start off doing persona work about the audience you're trying to go after, right? So what is it that motivates them? What are their pain points? Who are their communities of influence? Like you have to, it's not just demographic surface, you have to dig in really, really deep in order to understand the psychology of who your end audience is. And then based on those personas, you come up with very targeted journey maps. Or, you know, how do you get them immediately hooked? How do you get them to become an ambassador to your application or what it is you're trying to create? And all of this gets fleshed out through the design thinking lab. And through that process, you can start to sort of make connections as to what kinds of needs they have, especially with regards to big data and custom curating experiences, right? And that's when we start to bring in those kinds of Watson services. So really being able to work with them on solutioning and sort of what's the base problem they're trying to solve, and then bringing in the technology to help them be able to make those kinds of connections. That's my preferred way of being able to work with customers.
I'll say, it seems like IBM's going all in on Watson, and it seems like it's the answer to every problem in the world. And it seems also that they're doing a lot of all the grunt work in terms of figuring out what capabilities are. Is there a lot of concern with second movers in terms of like Google or Microsoft coming in and kind of catching up to you and slotting in and kind of riding the coattails of you guys? And how do you guys combat that? And what are your thoughts?
That speaks to game theory.
I've literally been doing that or thinking that way since going back in 2007, regardless of what group I'm in. So yes, and some companies have made a business off looking to see what IBM does and then literally taking our marketing message and changing it, having a company on it. But at the end of the day, sometimes that whole notion of somebody copying you is a great form of flattery is true, right? And from IBM's perspective, we want there to be a move forward from a technology perspective. We know IBM's not going to be the only one that ever innovates, right? But if we see a great innovation come out from another company, we think it's a good market where we can add additional value. We'll try to also get into that market and vice versa. So yes, we're already seeing new announcements. Microsoft literally overhauled their cloud division and tied in artificial intelligence and put a new head over it because they see some validity in this space. Not just from a Jeopardy game perspective, but now they're seeing our success in healthcare and our success in transportation logistics. Blockchain is also a new technology that just 2 or 3 years ago didn't exist. The notion of blockchain. Everyone was familiar with Bitcoin and it had a more of a nefarious use at that time. But now we're leveraging that same underlying capability to drive new efficiencies from anything that could be managed logistically. Not just shipping from a UPS or FedEx perspective, but also what we call provenance of diamonds, for example. Going from the mine through the distributors that cut them and into the stores and into consumers' hands, right? Making sure that that diamond is who it said it was when the person sold it to you. Right? So you'll continue to see new innovations come out, not just from IBM, but from the industry overall. And we're always keeping our eyes open on the competition, hopefully, so we don't get boxed out of the space. But yeah, we kind of expect it.
And there's a lot of room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. And for example, it takes time, it takes subject matter expertise to train Watson. So one of the things we're looking at is, can you use games to train Watson? Can you crowdsource through gameplay means of being able to train Watson on things like context And there's all kinds of ways that you can use that.
We have time for one more question.
I'm curious about some of the linguistic analytics and some of the applications of that. One of the more interesting areas that I've seen it is how the IBM Sports Insights group has worked with the Toronto Raptors to evaluate free agents to see if they'd be a good fit for their team. I'm curious what applications you see currently and kind of where you see it going.
You're talking about esports?
No, the actual professional Toronto Raptors NBA team.
Yep.
The IBM Sports.
But being able to optimize the teams in particular?
Well, not necessarily just in that context, but maybe more of the linguistic analytics, looking at social media posts and different kinds of things to see if a person might be a good fit on team, an employee might be a good fit for a particular business, kind of how you see that evolving.
We do have Watson being used in fantasy football applications that are now sort of bridging the gap from, that sort of virtual space to helping sports teams assemble and optimize their players. That's what you're referring to.
I guess more generally the concept of linguistic analytics and
The translation
Yeah,
services.
translation.
We're able to translate in numerous different languages through not just training Watson in things like basic communication or basic parlance vocabulary, but also in patent vocabulary. So for some languages, we went as deep as to be able to teach it in highly, highly technical terminology. It includes, the basics. You've got Arabic, you've got Chinese, French, Spanish, etc. You've got some Portuguese, but it's always something that continues to grow. The key is, again, training it. Especially if you want to be highly technical